out because we want to finish our year super strong and we want to be profitable and we want to know how to profit going into the year. We are on this ship and no one on this ship shall fail. That's our mantra. No one on this ship shall fail. We are in tumultuous times, but it's about profit so that we can scale. So let's talk a little bit about our speaker. And so he is none other than a colleague of mine in another group, which is the M&A Merger and Acquisition group. And that's where my company, Stewardship Masters International, we are also nested there. And Roy is a profound person in that group and a trusted advisor. So Roy is the principal and virtual chief information officer of Triangular Consulting. He is also the author of a highly informative business development and growth manual. By the way, I'll show it to you guys a little later. I left it in my other room, but the book is called Sky High Profit Rocket. I am strongly recommending that you all get a hold of that book. There is no fluff in it. It's real tools and everything that you need to grow your business. I can't even put it down, but I have to go get it from my nightstand and show it to you all before his presentation is over, or right after his presentation, that is. So Roy is able to show sharp business owners how to triple their leads, double their sales, and increase annual revenue for any business or product in 45 minutes. Without spending a dime on marketing or advertising. Yeah. Triangular focuses on small and mid-market businesses as well as nonprofits. Current clients are in finance, private equity and insurance to be exact, healthcare, and brick and mortar small businesses. Services include business strategy, product management, VCIO, cybersecurity assessment, risk assessment, IT due diligence, and digital transformation, such as strategy, application development, and cloud migrations. As our B2B presenter tonight, Roy will share the 5 levels in the profit formula that can be used to scale your business and is the driver behind every business decision that is to be made. Ladies and gentlemen, can you give a round of applause to welcome our speaker of the hour, Roy Pelicano?
Winnie, you are amazing. You really are. So the 5 profit levers of the profit formula. So the first one of these is expense management, right? So here we have expense management, and we're going to go back to our P&L. And you'll see that we have expenses, right? And the reason why expense management is in the profit formula is because if you can increase your profit margin, you increase your net income. So by increasing your profit margin, you're going to decrease your expenses. If you can decrease any of these expenses, then you will increase your profit. That's where the expense management comes into play. Sort of like when financial advisors tell you, rather than going out and trying to invest in the stock market, if you're paying 30% interest on your credit cards, pay off your credit cards because you immediately have just made 30% annual off of that investment. It's really about looking at the ways that you can save money. And we'll see that sometimes small amounts really grow and really add up. So you'll notice this is a multiplication sign here, and we have all multiplication signs across all of these. And that is absolutely critical to understanding the power of the profit formula, because the power of the profit formula is that each one of these items are not adding on top of each other, they're multiplying. And what you get is this multiplier effect. It leverages, it creates a power rule. And I'll show you in just a minute what that power rule will do to your business. But the fact that you are multiplying these things against each other all allows you to really sit down and understand and use the profit formula for your business. So the rest of these items, these other 4 items here, are all tied up here to your revenue section. So if the first one was about managing your expenses, The next four are all about increasing your revenue and understanding how you drive revenue. We have prospect database. So let's actually work backwards, right? I always like working backwards, right? That's why your exit plan is so powerful. Your exit plan is so powerful because that's where you want to end up. I don't know if you saw in the first slide Yogi Berra's quote, if you don't know where you're going, you may never end up there. Where we want to look at is where we want to end up, and that is at our sales transaction. In order to get sales, we have to have a customer, because a customer is who buys our product. In order to get a customer, we need a prospect, right? So that's how this works. Prospect database is your database of people that you have who have either never bought from you or who have bought from you in the past and are positioned to buy from you again. Every customer is a future prospect. Even if they've already bought from you, they go, the moment that sale is done, they go back into the prospect list, right? And it's actually easier to sell to those customers if you've done an excellent job, because as you sell to those customers, if you've done an excellent job, they want to buy from you again. If your value proposition really matches up with what their needs are and your product really satisfies what they need, then they will come back and buy from you again. If you don't treat your customers right, they won't come back to you. So you need to treat your customers right, because it's easier to sell to an existing customer to whom or with whom you've provided an excellent experience. Prospect database sits out here, and the larger your prospect database is, the larger this profit lever, this whole profit formula will exist. Just because you have people in your prospect database doesn't mean they're buying from you, or it doesn't mean they will buy from you in the future, or that they're going to buy from you today. So you have to convert your prospects into your customers. When we think about our marketing and our sales processes, that's really what we're thinking about, right? Marketing is often trying to communicate our value proposition to the customers. It's often trying to communicate why they should be buying from us versus our competitor. It should be communicating your unique selling proposition, your USP, right? This is what makes you unique over your competitors. It should be selling your market dominating pitch, right? You don't want to be competing with your competitors. Sounds funny, right? You don't want any competitors. You want to exist in a world where you are the only company, the only person from whom your target customers will buy. That's where you want to be. There are no competitors. So you want to be in a place where you dominate all the competition, so there is no competition. That's where we sit with marketing sales, right? So marketing sales are sitting right here in this prospect database and this customer conversion. And these are numbers that you need to manage, and these are numbers that you need to review on a regular basis, because the more prospects you can get, the greater your world is to convert people to customers. And the better your conversion rate, the better and greater leverage you get out of this database. And again, we're going to go through this a little bit in detail so it's more concrete. Finally, we go back to sales, right? So where sales come in, right? Because without any sales, there's no profit. Because there's no sales, there's no revenue, right? If we go back to our profit and loss statement, we need revenue. So if we don't have any sales, notice it says merchandise sales. It says music lesson income, our revenues, right? So we need sales, and the people with whom we make sales are our customers. Now, the important thing to know about your customer is this lifetime value of the customer. So the lifetime value of your customer is critical because it allows you to make certain decisions. And I'll give you one example. How much can you spend on marketing this week? Well, the way many business owners look at it is they say, okay, let me see. Let me pull out my wallet. Okay, let's see how much money I have. And Ronnie, I think Ronnie can probably attest to this. I think Ronnie's in the marketing world. Okay, let's see. I have, I don't have any cash, but I do have my credit card, right? So let me see how much I have on my credit card. Okay, so I've got, I can afford to spend $500 in marketing. But what am I going to get out of that $500? And how is that $500 going to be worth it to me? And how am I going to measure that it's worth it? Well, that's really done and understood through the lifetime value of your customer. And the reason why is because if you have a business where one customer will generate $10,000, then you can spend $1,000 to get that one customer, right? Because if you're going to make 10 grand, $1,000, it might not be the right number. We might want a smaller ratio. $100 would be better for 10,000, but it's better than if you have a $10 product and it took you $1,000 to get that one customer, right? That you're definitely underwater. You're definitely at a loss. So when you're thinking about your marketing and when you're thinking about how you're going to drive your business forward, lifetime value of your customer is correct. So one of the things that you want to look at for lifetime value is how many transactions each customer brings to you. So if you have a customer who buys from you only once and you spent $500 to get that customer, you better make $5,000 off that customer on that one sale, right? If that customer over the lifetime of the customer will have 50 transactions, each transaction of $500, right? We're now at, what is that? 25,000, 250? I don't know. Anyone want to give me a number on that one? Whatever it is, right? That say it's $25,000. You now know that you could spend that $500 on that $25,000 because you know how many transactions there are and what all those transactions will support you. So the way that you determine lifetime value of the customer is by the number of transactions and the value of each transaction. So by taking each of these individual profit levers, you're able to grow the business in such a way and understand how to position the business so that you can grow it, right? Because it goes right back to this concept of your income statement, how you actively drive income. How do you make money? How do you get these sales in? How much money are you going to spend to get those sales in? How much money can you spend in order to support those sales and put that profit in your pocket, right? Profits in your pockets, right? So these are the 5 levers. So I just want to show you what the power of these 5 levers are, right? And what we're going to look at here is really this multiplication symbol and why this multiplication symbol is so important, okay? So here goes a chart that I put together. So let's say you have a $100,000 business, right? Your business today is making $100,000. If you have no growth at all, 10 years from now, your business will be making $100,000, right? So it's $100,000 a year over 10 years. You've made $1 million over those 10 years. You say, that's awesome. That's great. I made $1 million. I am a wonderful business owner. I'm incredible at what I do. But what you don't realize is that if you had been growing your business at 10% year over year, you could have been making a lot more money. And I see that my number here is off, and I'm sure I know why, but this number really should be up here, that you're making $700,000, right? And it's just because it's linked back to my Excel. But you would be over those 10-year period, instead of making $1 million, you would have made $19 million with 10% growth year over year. Now, in order to get 10% growth year over year, it's a lot of work, right? If you had to do that year over year, you would be doing a lot of work, right? And if we take a look at what it takes to create your business, you would have had to increase the total number of your transactions by 10%. You would have had to increase the value of each transaction by, actually, it's more than 10%. You would have had to increase it by 1,000% on each of these, right? But if we do a 10% increase on each of these every year, we can achieve the same amount. So the value of the profit, the value of the profit formula is that by breaking down how you generate your profit into these 5 different levers, and then breaking down what you need to make every year, you can break that from having to do 1,000% increase in one of these to spreading it across 10% across each of these. You get this ability to grow, not just try to grow your customer base. Say you had 100 customers. You're not just trying to grow your customers from 100 customers to 1,000 customers in 1 year. You could grow your 100 customers to 110 customers because you're also growing the value of each transaction. You're growing the number of transactions that they're spending, and you're growing your conversion. Plus, you're decreasing your expenses. So by working on all these different levers at the same time, you're able to achieve something greater than you could if you tried to work on just one of these dimensions. And that's the power of the formula.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Are there any other questions? Because we have actually got to the end of the presentation, and Roy's information is up there. I wanted to show my book whenever the opportunity comes back when we got the screen, but I want you all to take a screenshot of Roy's information. What you just heard from Roy is just a tiny bit, when I mean tiny, tiny bit of the wide scope services that he offers. You guys got to get to know Roy, okay? And you can reach me. I will connect you to him in case you lose the information.